Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. I appreciate you clicking on that video as always. Today we are doing another weekly rotation video. So again, I love doing these videos. It allows me to go through my collection, wear my fragrances, and talk about them with you guys. So let's get right into the list. So on Sunday, I actually wore a fragrance that I did a video on where I discussed decants that I own that I think the fragrance is full bottle worthy. Finally picked up a bottle, so I had to give it a try. Scent I'm talking about, Mancera's Cedrat Boise. So this is the screw cap I got, and I can't remember if the screw cap is better than the magnetic cap or vice versa. But I do know this scent is amazing. If you were to only own one scent, this could fit the bill 100%. Vanilla, leather, lemon. This gets compared to Creed's Aventus, I get it, but I think it's different in its own way. And although it can smell similar to Creed's Aventus, it's by no means a clone. It's by no means a replacement, I think, of Creed's Aventus. You can own both without it being redundant in your collection. Just love this one. Has a bit of smokiness to it. Compliment getter, just an all-around great scent. Perfect for every season, in my opinion. You know, I would say on maybe really hot days in the sun, it might not be the best, but you might want to go something a little fresher. As I said, this has a smokiness to it, but a summer night, perfect. You can wear this to work. You can wear this really in any situation, dressed up, casual. I get really good longevity. This is a newer bottle. It was manufactured in 2021, and I'm getting 8+ hours on my skin. So as far as the newer formulations go and performance, I haven't had any issues with this one. So yeah, Cedrat Boise from Mancera. Grab this one if you haven't yet. It is fantastic. So on Monday, I went with a fragrance that I was able to find at a really great price. This is a fragrance that you don't hear about that often. I've talked about it on the channel before. It is similar to another really popular fragrance, but I think this one is unique in its own ways. Scent I'm talking about is Extraordinary Roccobarocco. And strange name, weird name, but great scent. Oh man. Vanilla, green, warm and spicy. Gets compared to Jean Paul Gaultier's La Malle. I can see the similarities for sure. It has that mint in it. It has the vanilla. It has a combination of mandarin orange and grapefruit up top. So it's citrusy, warm and spicy, vanilla. There's saffron in this along with some patchouli. Beautiful scent. I got it for a steal from a Burlington. I'm going to try to link this below to see if anyone actually has it. But if you come across this in a Burlington or have an opportunity to pick it up at an online discounter and you're a fan of Jean Paul Gaultier's La Malle, this is a nice option. This, to me, the difference is this is a bit spicier. It's a little warmer than Jean Paul Gaultier's La Malle. Although this has mint, it's a warm fragrance. It's inviting. As far as longevity goes, I get probably around 7-8 hours, which is really good. And yeah, I just love this one. It's versatile. This is another versatile scent. You could wear this to work. You could wear this out at night. Although La Malle at one point was a club scent or a night out scent, I think somewhere along the line became more of a versatile, everyday wear. So yeah, this definitely fits that category. So Extraordinary Roccobarocco. Monday scent. So on Tuesday, I went with a fragrance that 10 out of 10 for me. One of my favorite fragrances in my collection, and absolutely love this one. Scent I'm talking about, Prada Luna Rossa Black. Oh man, it's perfect in my opinion. It's powdery. It's got a slight citrus from the bergamot up top, but I don't get very much citrus from this. I get what comes across as a vanilla, but it's ambery and Prada Luna Rossa Black opens with a slight spiciness, slightly sweet, powdery, and just a real sexy, different scent. I don't own anything like this in my collection, so this is really the only thing that fits this bill. And I hated this scent at first. I've talked about that before on the channel. I hated this scent initially. I shouldn't say hate. Hate's a strong word, but I was disappointed because this was a scent that was really hyped. But after having an opportunity to get a bottle at a really great price, I wore it more and I fell in love with it. This is, again, 10 out of 10 for me. Really great longevity. I get about 8 or 9 hours. It's versatile in the sense that I think it does really well dressed up or casually, but it's more of a, to me, a night out scent, but you could wear it during the day. I mean, you can wear fragrances whenever you want. It depends on your personality, I think, more so than the fragrance. Really great fragrance. I love this one. Wore it on Tuesday. If you have an opportunity to grab this one, grab it, because I'm sure that there aren't many fragrances that you've smelled quite like this. And for nowadays, where everything's sort of a blue ambroxan heavy fragrance, this one, I'm sure has ambroxan in it, but it's just a different scent profile that is just super addictive and really likable. And you're gonna stand out with this one, Prada Luna Rossa Black. So Wednesday scent, and this is definitely, I usually wear my fragrances depending on the weather. Wednesday was colder, and I'm sure that, this one I think could work in the spring as well. But this also gets a good amount of hate because it's a collaboration with a singer that I don't know why necessarily it gets hate, but obviously in FragCom, there's a lot of people that are uptight and think that just because it's a collaboration or it has a celebrity's name on it, that it's not a good fragrance. I would say just the ones I've smelled traditionally, yeah, they're not great, but this one really stands out as being really well done. I love the house. Scent I'm talking about is Crimson from John Varvatos, and this is a collaboration with Nick Jonas. So this scent is excellent. I think it's one that reminds me a bit of Polo Red in a way, but it's woody, ambery, and sweet on that first spray. You get a little bit of a booze note, and the reason why I think this would work in the spring is because it is a bit aromatic as well. It's not as heavy or dense as something like Dark Rebel from John Varvatos. Now, there's also a coffee note in this. I don't really pick up very much coffee from this, although what I will say is that I find that in certain fragrances, particularly like the Polo Red Extreme, that has a powdery note to me that I think is the coffee, which you might say coffee is not powdery, but I think it's something that is trying to present itself as coffee, and it just, to certain people, I don't think it comes across. There's a bit of leather in this. This does remind me a tiny bit of John Varvatos' Dark Rebel, although this is way sweeter, way less boozy, and way less smoky. It's sort of, if John Varvatos' Dark Rebel was more mass pleasing, I think that you would come up with this. One drawback to this is the longevity. It doesn't last. I get about 4 hours, which is really a shame because the scent is so good. And how many times have you heard that with John Varvatos fragrances, is that they're so friggin' good, but they just don't perform. And there are certain fragrances that I'm willing to put up with that with, and this is one of them. This scent is unique in some ways, and it's just really pleasant and just of high quality. So at a great price. So I'm going to try to link this below if I can find it, but John Varvatos and Nick Jonas, Crimson. So another 10 out of 10 fragrance for me, I wore on Thursday, and I just recently did a video comparing this to another fragrance that it gets compared to a lot, and scent I'm talking about is Dior Homme Intense. Now, this scent is iris based, woody, iris, sweet, powdery, perfect in my opinion. This is a super sexy scent. This is something that you can wear when you're trying to impress someone. You're going out on a date, you are going out with your wife, your girlfriend, your boyfriend, whoever. It's amazing. This should, if you're a collector or if you love fragrance, this is something that you need to smell, because there are a few others that do it similar, and I like those as well. But if you're going to own one, this is one that you are probably going to want to consider, because it is just excellent. Now, don't confuse Dior Homme, the new version of Dior Homme, with Dior Homme Intense. Dior Homme Intense is going to be closer to the OG Dior Homme. Dior Homme is a completely different scent. Dior Homme Intense, on the other hand, will always be in my collection. So, love this one. It is just powdery, beautiful, dries down into almost like an ambery vanilla to me, and those woods, that cedar sticks around, but it is just fantastic. Gets compared to lipstick. I haven't smelled lipstick next to Dior Homme Intense, but hey, if enough people say it, I guess it's gotta be true, right? But anyways, I digress. This one is fantastic. As far as longevity goes, I get around 9 or 10 hours, depending on the day, and just beautiful in the air. Like, just unreal sillage to this, and when you're walking by someone, you're gonna be noticed. It's fantastic. Dior Homme Intense. So on Friday, I felt like going with something fresh and clean. I worked out early, jumped out of the shower, wanted something really fresh, really clean, blue, and this is one that you don't hear talked about very much that I think is underrated, and probably my favorite from this particular line, the Century line, scent I'm talking about, Dunhill Century Blue. Gets compared to Acqua Essenziale Blue. I get some of that. I think Acqua Essenziale Blue is way more powdery than this. Ton of citrus, sweet, woody. It is a bit powdery later in the dry down, but it's not on first spray. And man, I also like wearing this one to bed some nights, because it's just something about it that's just really pleasing and calming. I do draw some comparisons to this to YSL's Y EDP, and I'm not sure what note is standing out to me in that. I'm not sure if Y has a ginger note, but I believe Dunhill does, and I think that might be the note that I'm getting that is similar. Yeah, mandarin orange, bergamot up top with some black pepper, so it's a bit spicy, it's sweet. Iris and ginger, and ambroxan. I mean, you can't really go wrong with this. As far as longevity goes, I get about 6 hours. So yeah, it's kind of middle of the road for a freshie. It is fantastic. I love this one. And you know, I don't own a lot of blue scents now that I'm talking about it, but it's something that I like to put on when I'm not feeling like Missoni's Pour Homme, for example. So yeah, love this one. Wore it on Friday, Dunhill Century Blue. So on Saturday, I actually went with a sample that I have. I met two lovely L'Oreal representatives at my local Macy's. They were super nice. I wish I remembered their names. I told them about my YouTube channel, and they just happen to be handing out samples of this new fragrance from Valentino. The scent I'm talking about is Valentino Uomo Born in Roma Oral Fantasy. A little tough to see there, but you can see I used the whole thing. So I have one spray left for the purpose of my impressions as I'm talking about the fragrance, because to be honest, I'm still up in the air on this one. I don't know if I want to go buy a bottle today or if it's one that I can pass on. Love this opening. Red apple, it's sweet, I really love this. The opening is just, I can't imagine anyone not liking it. It's a bit spicy from the cardamom, this clary sage, and this geranium, and oddly enough, tobacco, which this kind of takes you on a roller coaster as you smell it. Opens super sweet with that synthetic apple, and then as it begins to dry down a bit, some of that spice comes out from the cardamom. You get the clary sage, you get the geranium, and you get ambroxan. So it comes across as almost like a blue fragrance, along with that sweetness and from the red apple. But then what it does is that you start to get this really herbaceous green note that I believe is coming from the tobacco. It's not sweet tobacco. It's not like ashy or smoked tobacco. It's leafy tobacco. So it's there's a green vegetal almost note to this. There is some lavender, there is some vetiver, and as it dries down I get more of that lavender. But it is ambroxan. It is almost like a blue fragrance with some green aspects to it. And then as it dries down even further, that tobacco leaf really becomes prominent, and it's not a sweet tobacco. So I can see why some might not like this fragrance, because where it's sweet and aromatic, it is also green and vegetal, and that combination, it's different. It's unique. It's definitely unique for the Valentino Uomo Born in Roma line. I feel like most of that stuff is just straight sweet fragrances. Not to knock those fragrances, but this one I think tried to do something a little different, and I like it. That's what I like about it, is that it's a bit different. That sweetness, I would say, smells similar to Stronger With You from Armani. It reminds me of that same type of sweetness that is in Azzaro, Most Wanted, and the Armani, but with more blue aspects to it, with that ambroxan. So it's a bit fresher. Could be used really in the cooler months along with springtime. So that's where I think the difference is. So it has that sweetness, but it's more aromatic and it's a bit fresher. Right now, I'm really liking this one. So I would say that knee-jerk reaction, it's probably my favorite Born in Roma. And as I said, you know, the OG Born in Roma reminds me of Invictus, and they all sort of have that sweet. They're pretty sweet, you know, they're sweet fragrances. But this one's a bit different, and as it begins to dry down a bit, I do get almost a bit of a shower jelly vibe, but it's not bad. I like it. Yeah, I encourage you guys to try this one. If you're a fan of the Valentino Uomo line and you're just looking for something that is a bit unexpected, give this one a try. You can go to Macy's and sample it, but I'll be sure to link it down below. Yeah, Valentino Uomo, Born in Roma, Coral Fantasy. This was one that I was really excited about too when they announced it. So I want to give it a little bit more time, try it out more. But yeah, I think I'll probably end up getting a bottle of this because I like it. On initial impressions, I like it quite a bit. So that's all I have today, guys. I appreciate you sticking till the end of this video. Something a little different in terms of presentation of this video. I'm filming from my computer and my computer's webcam, but I wanted to I'm still trying to plan out my next move as far as where my fragrances, where I'm going to store my fragrances, where I'm going to have them, and sort of piggyback that with how I'm going to be presenting this video going forward. So let me know in the comment section below if you guys still enjoy these videos, if you like watching them. I'll continue to do them. With that being said, I appreciate it. Please be sure to like, comment, subscribe, share this video, hit that bell notification so you are updated whenever I upload new content. But until then, I will see you in the next video.